Use the referral link in the description to g2a.com for all of your Xbox codes, PlayStation codes and video games, and be sure to use the code CHES at checkout to get yourself 3% cash back. Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of season 2 here in the Career Mode RTG. In episode 1 of this second season, I asked you to offer me up some striker suggestions. You did that. There was well over 400 comments on the video as of this particular time of recording. So I've added quite a few to my shortlist. They're all being scouted. The majority of which, all but 2 or 3, I think, will come back before the end of the transfer window, before the end of today's episode. So I should be able to make an informed decision. However, how I'm supposed to make that decision, I've no idea, because there are far too many people to put onto a vote. So, don't know. We shall wait and see. I shall pick my favourite, I think. A couple of options with regards to some wide players as well, to try and fill out that kind of lack of depth in wide areas in the midfield. Vincent Young, who potentially could play further up, but for now he's down as a left back. We have Courtney Senior, very, very fast, but would need some training technically, but he's only 22, so plenty of room for growth there. This guy, Goodwin, who know, you guys, or some of you reckoned that he's actually a Ribery regen. Now, I don't know if Ribery's actually retired in this save. He has, Ribery has, so he may be a Ribery regen. I'm not sure. But at this particular stage, the majority of people, regardless of whether he is a regen or not, the majority of people were saying, yes, do sign Huno. Reckons that he'd be cheap wage-wise, so I am going to do that. He's valued at 1.4 million as well. So even if we sign him now to then sell him on next season, and he doesn't really do much for us, he's certainly going to be worth it in the long term. So a lot of people, when they're free agents, they all want 1-year deals. And I'm really not interested in offering 1-year deals at all. I want 2 years minimum, 3 if I can get it. But it is going to be 2 years here for Uno. Or Uno. I genuinely don't know how to pronounce that name. If you could give me any sort of indication or any help in the comments section with regards to that, then I'd very much appreciate it. I'll offer him £1,800 and £13,000 as a signing on fee, and we'll see if he'll sign that. 2,100. You can have that provided you take the bonus away. And 2,004. For the sake of 300, actually, I might need that money. So how about 2002? At this stage of our 2004, at this stage, the extra £100 or £200 might make all the difference. So we shall sign for 2003. We have a new left-sided midfielder. That's good. Right, I will show you all of these strikers. There is a left winger there actually, so I'll quickly show you him as well. But we have Brennan Dickinson, another potential winger. I am open to selling my current first team wingers, like Reggie Lamb, like Harrison Dunk, etc. So bringing other players in like this isn't going to be an issue with regards overall squad depth or financially as well, or finance-wise. So he's quick. Looks like he's got good physicals and half decent technicals. But again, we will need that scout report. Ben Woodburn apparently can play at striker, according to you guys, and according to his supposed position list as well. Let me just quickly do that so I can. Didn't quite work as I intended it to, because it took me to the bottom of the list when I sorted. So Malik Wilkes is a winger that supposedly is decent at striker. I'll wait and see what his stats look like, but there are a handful of you saying that he's actually decent at striker, so we'll wait and see. These two I'm actually going to remove now, Martins and Nunes. Right, the striker list looks as follows. Pronichev, Maximilian Pronichev, looking... Well, it depends what those stats look like, guys. I have no idea. We are going to have to wait for these scout reports to come back, but because we're doing a month per episode, we will find that out today. This might be a long episode. I have no idea how this is going to pan out. Pronichev, 6 foot tall, Russian from Hertha Berlin. Greenwood was popular with you guys. But I do want to wait and see what everyone else looks like now, because well, I think I'm going to have a hell of a list to try and pick from. But Mason Greenwood was very popular with you guys. Alan Souza is still available for loan, so I would potentially contemplate bringing him in. He is 5'8", so he's not the tallest. Uche is still here because Uche's Uche. 5-star weak foot on Yanis Begraoui. Don't know much about him, but it looks like he'll be quick enough. Finishing looks like it could be decent too, so we'll wait and see what he looks like. Only 2-star skill moves though. Julian von Moos was very popular in the comments section. Looks like he's going to have really good physicals, so we'll wait and see. Technically, perhaps not so impressive, but we will wait and see. Josh Madja, he is a youngster at Southampton. At Sunderland. Got red and white stripes. At Sunderland in real life. Varsten Bereven, or Bavarian even, is where he is IRL, or where he is, sorry, in-game right now. Don't know whether that's IRL or not. They're not willing to sell him, but I can pay his release clause, but that's 1.5, and that would be the majority of my transfer budget. Byron Bodu, pacey, decent physicals, 87 to 97 jumping, which is pretty impressive. He could be a genuine option as well. 5'11", 4-star weak foot. Looks like the player is unwilling to relocate, so that might be an issue. Io Akinola, looks like he's going to be quick, as a number of players in MLS tend to be. Goebbels, Willem Goebbels, 3-star, 3-star. Looks like he's going to be quick, which is good news. Not sure about his technicals. We shall have to wait and see. But at 6'1", could be a good physical option. Jonas Romero, 2-star skills, 3-star weak foot. Not the best. He's 5'3" as well, which is a big put-off for me personally. But potential, maybe. Danny Loader, I must have scouted him last year because I have his stats here. 64 rated currently. Okay physicals, although low stamina and low strength are a bit of a turn-off for me. 69 finishing is better than anyone else I have at the club, though. Gianni Azinari, 2-star, 2-star, which doesn't fill me with promise. Pietro Pellegri, 3-star, 2-star. 6'2", but doesn't look like he's going to be that quick. Finishing's high, though, so he could just be a good target man. Although, if I was going to sign a target man style player, I would probably go for Uche to bring him back to the club. Musa Silla, also at Monaco. Looks like he's going to be quick, but I don't know anything about his technicals. Eddie Nketiah, he's an Arsenal youth player, but in this save, he's now at Real Madrid. Says he's unwilling to relocate, probably, but you never know. He might be open to a loan deal. Rian Brewster at Liverpool. Going to have good physicals by the looks of things. Technically could be pretty decent too. Jan Fieta Arp, I don't know anything about him. I think I scouted him in a series either last year or the year before, and he didn't look too promising, but it might be different this year. Timothy Weah, potential for sure. Marco Levaya, 5-star weak foot, 3-star skills. I don't know anything about him. He's slightly older, so I would have to buy him rather than loan him, or would probably lean towards a buy than a loan. Sander Svensson, 3-star, 4-star, 5'8". Looks like he's going to have good physicals and maybe decent technicals. Eva Morales, 2-star skill moves, 3-star weak foot. I don't tend to skill too much, but it might be nice to have 3-star skills on anyone that comes in. For people that have been watching the channel for a few years, you'll remember Jamie McLaren. And, well, looks like physically he's going to be great. I think he's probably going to be out of my price range, but we'll wait and see. And Baranachea from Real Sociedad is a young 17-year-old that might be worth a look. There are 2 people called Zamaletdinov. This guy could play striker, left mid, right mid, or centre mid. We'll wait and see what his stats look like. Tibor Zamaletdinov, rather than Rifat Zamaletdinov, is at Liverpool currently. Supposed to be decent physically. We'll wait and see. Fedor Shalov is another Russian that's on the list. Emmanuel Sabi, 4-star, 4-star, currently playing for Hobro. Don't know who they are, but we'll wait and see if he's any good. And then there's Wilkes. So you can see the list. It's quite big. It's quite a big list. Right, so I'm going to take Reggie Lamb off the bench there and throw Huno on. We've obviously still got Banku to come back from injury as well, but Dunk and Lamb I would be open to selling if it meant we could bring in another couple of players. And then elsewhere, I look like I'm short on centre backs, but because of the situation of our youth squad, I'm not short on centre-backs. I'm not short on centre-backs. I'm not short on centre-mids. That is for sure. And you guys reckon that I should, and I probably agree with you now, be starting Mitov over Quinones because he is now higher rated overall. And we'll just double check the stats. Mitov, better diving, same handling, same kicking, only one difference in the positioning, and reflexes slightly in Quinones' favour, but we'll go with Mitov now because he was set to be our best and starting goalkeeper for hopefully the whole of the series. I'd like to do that if I can and continue to training, but we'll wait and see. With regards to the youth setup, as we mentioned, Archie Harrison down as a right back, but probably going to be decent at centre back. Vinnie Martin, centre back, although he's only 5'11". So I do have options at centre back, and then obviously we have a number of centre mids. So let's start the league season, shall we? I'm going to play Swindon on the opening day, and then I think I'm going to play Tranmere on the 24th, and then we shall simulate the rest because we're in a transfer window, and obviously there's going to be a hell of a lot of transfer stuff going on in today's episode. There has been already, but we shall start by playing the opening day of the season. Swindon away. Suarez Garcia's debut. I am going to start him on the left-hand side ahead of Uno to start off with. He can play at striker though, so I could move him there later in the game for sure. Penny's going to start at centre-back for the first time. Mitov, I think this is actually going to be his first game for me, potentially. We still have Edwards on the bench. Foy and Banku still injured, so here we go. Wish me luck. This year we are aiming for automatic promotion. Let's see if it happens. Driving into the box. Oh, hello. That was a little bit fancy. Mitov with a save. Well, Swindon have had the first chance of the game after 3 minutes, and that was very well created. Here's Matthew Penny's first touch as a ball as a Cambridge United player, and Suarez Garcia's first touch of the ball as a Cambridge United player as well. And to be fair, they've linked up quite nicely on this left-hand side, so if they can continue to do that, then we'll be absolutely set. Unfortunately, I've lost the ball though, so never mind. But regardless, still a positive start for the two of them, and that's overhit. He's not going to get to that despite his attempts. Hernandez around the corner. Here's Doty through the legs of Perella. Anderson has options. Picked off nicely by Matthew Penny, although he's lost out to McGlashan. And around the corner to McCourt, off the bar, off the post even. Oh, that was lucky. Deary me. Very nearly 1-0 down again. Penny into Giovanni Brown. Nice turn. Suarez Sanchez. Vargas will try bend it from here. It's deflected. It's a corner. Another one. Harrison will deliver again towards that near post. Perella with the overhead kick, the centre-back. Well, that was flamboyant, but Vigeroux with a comfortable enough save. Good header. Oh, it's dropped to Giovanni Brown. It's a nice turn. And here's Vargas. And rushing through there is Suarez Sanchez. Oh, not really got much space. Vargas again. Blocked again, but that one might be... Oh, no, it is a corner. Harrison to deliver again. Oh, it's going to drop to Suarez Garcia. Deflected again. Spell of pressure here right at the end. Corner to come in. Again, Harrison. Oh, Jeeps is going to drop to Griggy T. Looks for a move, but can't find him. It's going to be 0-0 at half-time. Across to Doty. Around the corner to Anderson again. Doty, I see the ball on. Hernandez is in. Mitov can't get there. It's 1-0 Swindon. They started the first half on top, and we ended it on top. No goals. They've started the second half on top, and they've scored this time. So we are going to need to come from behind here, away from home, on the opening day of the season. There you go. Into Vargas, who's turned well through to Giovanni Brown. Just trying to keep the ball away from the defenders here. Amu, look for acceleration. It's good. Find the ball into the middle. And oh! Sergio Garcia. I'm not entirely too sure how we won that header. He's only 5'7". And the defender was clearly a lot bigger than him, but he's done brilliantly to win it, and we very nearly equalised there. Look through that gap for Giovanni Brown. Here's Vargas. It's not going to fall for him. Half an hour to play. That's certainly the closest we've come to scoring a goal so far. Harrison. Out to Amu. Oh, somehow he's broken past that challenge. Through, looking for Giovanni Brown. Across, looking for Vargas. And the equaliser! Yes! Oh, I'm so delighted to not lose. Well, I hope not lose on the opening day. After August last season, sorry, we were 23rd in the league with 4 points. I certainly hope that isn't going to be the case this season. I got so lucky with a move breaking through past that challenge, but we made the most of the lucky break. Giovanni Brown now going off after getting that assist. And Huno is on the left-hand side. The only thing I risk with all of these young signings from the youth squad is that a number of them are quite small. 5'7", 5'8", not really got the physical presence I might need for the higher divisions. But we'll wait and see how things go, and I can always selectively pick players that are slightly taller. Here is Huno. There's the final whistle. We're able to get a point away from home against Swindon on the first day of the season. I'm actually happy with that. We weren't terrible and actually had more of the ball and more chances. That's good. That's a promising sign for the season to come, because Swindon will most likely be up challenging for promotion themselves as well. Now, I'm going to go and simulate a few games, of course, and hopefully by the time we get to the Tranmere game, we might know a little bit more about a handful of the players that we're trying to, or potentially looking at to bring in. I'm going to accept the offer for Finlay Iron, and he will leave us, hopefully. What was the last set of players I trained? It was the attackers, so we shall go back and train the midfielders now. Edwards, I'm particularly keen. Is it Edwards? No, the 61 something rated guy. What was his name? Hill. Hill is a player that I'm certainly intrigued by, and I'm going to start training him as well, actually. I need to do that sooner rather than later. Hill is going to hopefully grow into an incredible player for us. Right now, we're going to advance as far as the second game in the League 2 season. Another offer for Finlay Iron, this time from Oldham, which we will accept. Finlay Iron couldn't agree terms to go to Yeovil. Unfortunately, we've had an offer from Lech Poznan to take David Amu off my hands, but he's going nowhere. Thank you very much. He stays. He's certainly one of the wide players that I'm keen on keeping at the club for the time being. Release clause paid for Foy. Brilliant. That's great. Final scout report on Courtney Senior. 64 rated. Very, very quick. Not much strength. 5'9". Oh, I don't know about him. I really don't know. If his strength was higher, I would have said I'd definitely get him. Brennan Dickinson, 66 rated. They're good physicals, and he's 6 foot tall. I'd be keen on him. I would be keen on him. £675,000 is his valuation. Brennan Dickinson is a player I am interested in, and I may try and go and sign by using either Reggie Lamb or what's his name? Oh, guys, Harrison Dunk. I don't know why my brain just failed to find the words Harrison Dunk. Try and get Harrison Dunk or Reggie Lamb involved in this deal. I'll try and do it early on, so if I can't get a player swap, I can have the chance to sell those guys on and then have a little bit more money. So, Reggie Lamb is valued at £300,000. Would you be interested in Reggie Lamb? They would, plus some money. I shall counter and propose a new transfer fee of about £300,000. Now, hopefully, we can negotiate this quite quickly. 580, no. Really not wanting to pay that much. 340. Please come down. I'd go as far as 420, probably. They've come down to 470. That's a good sign. So we shall offer 370. I offered 340 last time. 370. Oh, they're going to take some time to think about it. Yeah, and then you'll come back and tell me they want even more money. Fair enough. Right, well, let's go and simulate the game against Grimsby, and then I really don't care about the game against Gillingham either. Iron sold. He's gone. Oh, that was quick. Okay, let's continue to negotiate then and see if we can't get Dickinson in again. Give me. Right, propose new transfer fee. Well, actually, I'll offer them 400. I said I'd pay up to 420. They're asking for 490 now. Come on, lads. I'll give you 420. I might stretch to 450. But I don't need to, because I've accepted 420. He's currently on £4,400 at Colchester. But hopefully we can get him on something less than that. Squad role. Rotation, if you'll sign it, just to keep you happy. He wants crucial. Okay, that's fine. I shall counter with important, and then we'll settle in the middle. No, he's certain that he wants crucial. Okay, it's not a problem. 4,100, sign it. 4,002, fine, we'll meet in the middle. He's driving a hard bargain, his agent. Very, very much so. But Dickinson is in. So, that means Reggie Lamb has left us. So I'm probably going to have to... Is Dickinson on the bench? Oh no, who knows on the bench? So Dickinson in. Foy looks like he's going to be leaving us as well. So Dunk is going to be the next place. Right, I'm set for wingers now. I'm set for wingers. Let's go and simulate this game away from home against Grimsby. We're set for wingers. Now is purely just the striker signing left that I want to get done. And if we have anything else left after that, then we shall wait and see. But purely striker is my sole focus now. And Suarez Garcia gives us a 1-0 lead 6 minutes before half-time away from home against Grimsby. That's perfect. Let's keep that going. Who knows, come on for Vega at centre mid, which is interesting. Suarez Garcia with a second. Yes, boy! 2-0. We'll take that. Right, so we've already gotten more the same amount of points as we got from the entire month of August in the first 2 games. Interest shown by Mason Greenwood. Salerno. They're Swiss, aren't they? Are they Swiss? I'm not sure. See, one thing I want to do is take Lee out of here. Sorry, Lee. And I'm going to put Hill in, because Hill looks like he's certainly going to be a very, very promising central midfielder, and I'd like to try and train him up as best I possibly can. We've done his passing. Let's do his tackling as well. I simulate the wonder a lot more. Right, things are looking promising in this window so far. Let's go and simulate, or go and advance a little bit further. Transfer offer for Harrison Dunk, £170,000. Slightly undervaluation. I will negotiate a little bit more if we can get it. But that money will certainly come in handy if we are able to push this sale through. I'll ask for 230. He is 28 though. So if they'll pay 200, I will accept 200. I am going to need this money. Oh, I think I'm going to need this money. They'll pay 200. Thank you. Right, Foy's leaving, and it looks like Dunk is leaving too. The squad at present is quite short on numbers on the ground, but we do have all of those youngsters I can call up. Foy is gone. I am now certainly desperate, well not desperate, but certainly looking for striker signing sooner rather than later. Let's play Gillingham at home in the Carabao Cup. Not fussed about this competition at all, to be completely honest, but we shall wait and see if we are able to progress through. Burn gives Gillingham a 1-0 lead after 12 minutes. So not the best of starts. But Vargas equalises after half an hour. That's a positive sign. And can we push on in the second half and build on that and maybe get ourselves through? Vargas with a second. Looking good. Looking good. The money from cup competitions last season is why our budget this season is as big as it is at 2 million rather than 1 million. Basically doubled our doubled our transfer budget this season by having good cup runs last year. So if we can continue that trend this year, then I'd be absolutely delighted. Interest shown in Bodu. I'm still waiting for those scout reports. I'm going to get a number of emails soon. Just Dunk sold. Interest shown in Bodu by Sporting KC. And Ryan Brewster's had a scout report come through. 71 finishing is good. He's only 5'9" though, and I do have a number of short players already. I would like a more physical player if I can possibly get one. If I could possibly get someone that's close to, if not over 6 foot, pacey and strong with decent finishing and decent ball control and dribbling, that would be preferable. Suarez Garcia from the penalty spot this time. Certainly looks like he's going to be capable of doing us a decent job in the simulated game, Suarez Garcia, and he was decent enough in the game that we played against Swindon, but there is certainly room for improvement from him. They then get a penalty in the second half. Are we headed for another draw? No. Taylor, Greggy T from the back to give us a 2-1 win against Crewe. That's 7 points from our first 3 League 2 games. Getting carried away. First League 2 games. That is absolutely super. Actually, hang on. Let me save the current preset as mids to ensure that we don't lose out on training Hill, and I shall now delete that one, and then we shall train the defenders and the goalkeeper. I am going to have to be wary that I don't train Mitov too high too early, similarly with Perella, so that they get to the situation where they feel they're too big for the club. So it might get to the point where I have to just hold off on training a couple of players to ensure we can keep them at the club and they don't outgrow us. But I do want to play this game against Tranmere Here come the scout reports, though. Right, this is going to take me about 10 years to go through. I'll be back with you in a moment. Right, so of the players that I've had scout reports back for, the remaining on my list are ones that I would potentially consider. Anyone that you see that isn't here, from now moving forward, is either someone that I don't deem a genuine target, is too expensive, or has just moved club and it isn't available for transfer anyway. So we have Musa Silla, who's quick enough, 84 acceleration, 80 sprint speed, decent agility as well, good finishing, but his ball control and dribbling is his main attributes for me personally, as well as his pace. 5'11", high attacking work rate, an option but very expensive. And a number of the players at the bigger clubs that look like they're unwilling to relocate, so I might struggle to get them on loan. Sales we know of, Uche we know of, Eddie Nketiah, unwilling to relocate. He's on 37 grand. There's no way I can afford Eddie Nketiah, but at this stage, but he's someone I might be interested in later down the line. That's why he's still on this list, as opposed to other people who are more expensive and have left the list. Mason Greenwood is still here. Willem Goebbels is a player I am keen on. 86 acceleration, 86 sprint speed, 77 agility, 71 finishing. Can train him a little bit. He's only valued at 1.2. I would genuinely consider buying him. 6'1". Brewster, I still don't know about him, but he's got 71 finishing and he's quickish. I'm not sure. Danny Loader still remaining on the list. I'm actually going to take him off. Senior as a winger, I would still consider. And then Yanis Begraoui. He's only 18. That's why he's still on the list. And 5-star weak foot help as well. Plus 72 finishing, but ball control of 55 is a big negative. A big negative for him. There's still a number of players here left to get scout reports for. At present, though, Goebbels is a front runner for sure. Goebbels is currently my front runner. We'll wait and see. But for now, I'm going to go and play Tranmere and then hopefully get some more of those scout reports back before the end of the transfer window. Garcia in there nicely to Vega. Across to Vargas. Through looking for a move. Oh, that first touch. I told him to shoot first time, but he just wouldn't pull the trigger. Broughton does well to hold off the attention to the defender there in the challenge. Oh, that was a brilliant opportunity to try and get a 1-0 lead. That was particularly frustrating there because we worked that move brilliantly, but Amu just wouldn't hit it first time. Garcia tracking back to intercept and then somehow still comes away with the ball there. I'll give that down the line towards Giovanni Brown. We have the opportunity to counter now. And Giovanni turns his side nicely. There's Vargas. Oh no, terrible pass, but Howison somehow gets an interception on it and will retain possession. Bradley Halliday arriving. He loses out instead. Really frustrating first half here against Tranmere. We're doing everything right, but when it comes to having shots on goal, all coming together everywhere else but up top. That's what... Oh, really? That's why we're desperate for that striker signing, to add the goals to what already is a decent base of a team for this level. Good save by Mitov from the corner. Vargas is across there, and Howison. I'm hoping to build a lot slower now. Hopefully it means that more bodies can get forward, and eventually the chances will come. Vargas, bit of space, will let the shot fly even, but it's blocked well. Corners come in from Howison. It's delivered well, but Banks wins that header comfortably. Taylor in there to Giovanni on his left foot. Giovanni Brown, comfortable for the keeper. Not quite as far into the corner as I'd hoped it would be. Halliday, I'm going to go through the middle there to Vargas, and then Maris has made a run off me, which was really well done. And Huno is away out on the left-hand side and into a decent position here. Now, if he can find a teammate, which he can, Amu could have given us a 1-0 lead, but missed the target. He's got that corner to aim at there. There's no excuse in that situation. It's not good enough. Vargas has stolen that away from the defender, and now Amu is through. This time, surely, please. Amu! 1-0. That's why I want him to stay for the time being. His finishing in tight situations, as we saw from the previous chance, isn't quite good enough. But when given the opportunity like that to break away, that pace and the composure when there's nobody around him to finish and finish well is indispensable at this level. David Amu makes it Cambridge 1, Tranmere 0. We were second in the league prior to this game. If we can see out this victory, we may well be going top. Could be a very promising season ahead of us here at Cambridge United. Howison across the hill. It's the sort of physicality or size of human being I want in my midfield. All played over the top by Harris. Needs to win this header, and Greg Taylor does, as ever. A 1-0 win for Cambridge away from home against Tranmere. Big 3 points that. Very, very promising, and we should be quite an attractive option for anyone potentially incoming. How did Northampton do? They lost 4-0 to Rochdale. I believe that puts us top of the league. MK Dons with a big win as well. It's Blackburn away from home next in the Carabao Cup. That certainly is not going to be a game that we're going to play right now, but we shall continue to train Morris and Giovanni Brown. I might switch those two out sooner rather than later for some of the other youngsters that have been coming in, certainly when a striker arrives, but still waiting on a handful of scout reports before we're able to make a definitive decision, and I believe those scout reports may well have just arrived, and indeed they have. Right, having looked through the list, again, I've removed players that I don't believe are targets. Jamie McLaren is a standout option. He was one of the players that kind of made the... I can't remember whether it was the previous ITG or the one before that, whether it was FIFA 17 or FIFA 15. But Jamie McLaren is genuinely an option. He's valued at 1.9 million and on 12 grand a week, so it would take up the majority of my budget. So I am leaning away from him currently because of that. But he's genuinely a potential option. We have Rifat Zemaletdinov, who is quickish, terrible in the air apparently, jumping of 50. What's his heading accuracy? 43, yeah, so I wouldn't be crossing to him, which kind of nullifies the idea of having a big, tall player if they're not going to be that good in the air. He's got great dribbling and ball control, though, and 66 finishing, but he's got good passing, too. So, despite being not that good in the air, he might genuinely be another option. Timur Zemaletdinov is quickish, decent agility, decent jumping, decent ball control and dribbling, decent shot power, okay finishing as well. Another genuine option. Goebbels still remains my main option, I believe, just because he's younger at 18 and already has the electric pace. And we can train his strength and we can train his ball control. And his finishing looks promising as well. So I am still very keen on him. And then Wilkes. A few of you were saying he would be good at striker. He looks decent as a winger, but striker, I'm not sure. 62 finishing, obviously we could train. 4-star weak foot, 3-star skills. He is 6 foot. He is an option, but I think I'm leaning elsewhere at this stage. So I'm still keen, potentially keen on Mason Greenwood as well, to be fair. He's valued at 1.3 million. His rejected loan moves to Heronvane, and I don't know who the one above that is. So he probably wouldn't want to come to us on loan. The thing is, a number of the players that I'm looking at here are at big clubs and would potentially, probably turn me down. So we'll go and play this game against Blackburn, and I will have, or simulate this game against Blackburn, and I will have a serious think about who I want to bring in. That's not a full strength Blackburn side. With Danny Graham on the bench, Lenihan on the bench. Brereton is a decent player that always pops up with his name in saves. Ben Brereton, I could have a look at him, but I think he might be out my price range. Bradley Dack gets them a goal to go 2-1 up after Vargas had equalised for us, and with 10 minutes to go, it looks like we're going out the Carabao Cup. And indeed we are. Not to worry. Right. Ideally, I'd like to bring in 2 strikers because I only have Vargas at the minute, although Suarez Garcia can play up top. I only have one real out-and-out striker in Vargas. The squad does look thin on the ground, but again, I've got young players I can call up if needs be. Dickinson will throw onto the bench now ahead of Edwards. In fact, and then when I bring a striker in, I'll move Osadebe out for that striker onto the bench. The striker may even come in and start up top ahead of Vargas. I'm going to go and have a serious think about who I want to bring in. I don't have a massive amount of money available to me, either wage-wise or transfer fee-wise, so it is going to have to be a bit of a gamble. All of the players that are down as unwilling to relocate, I'm not able to buy. So it does look like we're going to have to be relying on loan deals. So what I'm going to do is go for a one-year deal for Goebbels. And then I might go for... Because someone mentioned in the comment section, I'll have to double check. But someone mentioned in the comment section that Mason Greenwood's contract is expiring at the end of this season. So what I might do, if he comes in and does well, is sign him on a short-term loan. Sign Mason Greenwood on a short-term loan. I can't see his contract with these 4 years. No, it's certainly not. Certainly not expiring anytime soon. So hopefully Goebbels will accept that, and we'll have ourselves a new striker. Jamie McLaren, can I loan him? No. A number of these players. A number of the better players that we've found just aren't looking like they're going to be genuine people that would want to come to me. I actually had a look at Ben Brereton, and I might consider a move for him on deadline day if I can. Emmanuel Savvy, obviously haven't got exact details back yet, but he looks like he could be promising at £1 million. So I might be intrigued to go after him as well. 4-star. 68 to 72, so ball control's decent, dribbling's decent, finishing's decent. Obviously he's quick. He's going to be certainly someone that we could strongly consider at the end of deadline day. We should play Macclesfield, and he's rejected the move. Doesn't want to join. Sorry. Greggy T's going nowhere. That's the issue with the situation we find ourselves in at this stage of our career, or at this stage of a save, is that we're not that attractive an option for a number of people. I shall try and buy Sabi. He looks like someone that could genuinely, even if he doesn't immediately hit the ground running, not midfielders, strikers, he could genuinely be someone that could prove to be a good money spinner later down the line. I'll offer £850,000 plus Nicholas Edwards, and they'll just want an 8% sell-on clause. Deal. This guy offers us the pace that we would want. Like, basically, it was David Amu's pace. At this level, it's pace that's going to make the difference, and it was David Amu's pace in the last game that we played that saw us get the victory against Tranmere. He wants crucial. I'll give him that. I wouldn't really want to give him more than £4,000 a week if I can avoid it. I mean, I'll try and get him on a 5-year deal. He wants 2. He might sign 4, but is more likely to sign a 3. Will you sign 4? No. Well, he will sign 3 then. He says yes. Okay, good. A 3-year deal. Doesn't want a release clause. I'm quite happy with that, especially if he turns out to be a very, very good player. 4,002, I will remove the bonus, but I would be willing to pay him £4,200 a week. But we'll see if they'll actually... 4,008? Yes. I will pay that for sure. Right. We have one new striker. Now, I know that Greenwood... Well, we know that we can get Greenwood in on loan. 100%. We 100% know that we can get Greenwood in on loan, because we accidentally did it in a previous episode. So, Sabi. 90 acceleration, 93 agility, 88 balance, 94 jumping, 93 sprint speed, 66 finishing, but 72 ball control and 73 dribbling. I think that is a very, very good signing for us at this level, at this stage of our season, particularly. And I'm going to train his finishing as well, and fingers crossed he could become a superb player for us. We'll have to train him in the next episode. One thing I meant to mention and have forgotten to until this point, I have reissued the Scout Future Star, so we should get that actually, hopefully, before the first game in September, which is Preston in the Cup. I'd like to think we'll get that deal done. I will simulate this game against Macclesfield first. Then we'll try and get another striker done on deadline day if we can. Probably Mason Greenwood, but maybe someone else. I might try and get... Oh, I probably haven't got enough for Jamie McLaren now, have I? We have a number of players leaving on international duty. That's not a good sign. We are top of the table, joint top of the table after 4. They've lost their last 3 games, Macclesfield. They were the team that denied us anything on the final day last season that meant that we certainly stayed in League 2 for this season. I would love to get a victory over them here just to show how much we've improved. David Amu gets a goal to go 1-0 up in the 39th minute. Sabi off for Vargas after 47 minutes. Howison with a second though. That's going to confirm all 3 points, I'd like to think, unless there's some mad comeback from Macclesfield, which there is not. Another victory for us in the league. We are looking very, very strong with regards to the way that the league is going so far this season for us. I would like to bring in another player if I can. Now, who that might be, I'm not sure. I can't afford Ben Woodburn. I could afford Senior. But if I was to sign a winger, it would probably be Wilkes at this stage because he's younger and slightly higher rated. Goebbels rejected us. Mason Greenwood would come. I'm sorry, tempted to try and bring Uche back, but I'm not going to do it. Jamie McLaren, I can't afford. Silla, I can't afford. Woodburn, I can't afford. Nketiah, definitely can't afford. These guys, 27 grand a week. 8,200 is a potential. And he's got the guy with good passing and good dribbling. He's terrible in the air, but that could be a genuine goer. I'll offer to loan. No, they're not willing to let him leave. Okay. I tried Goebbels. Let's do Greenwood then. I'll approach loan and see if we could get Greenwood in. He's been on the list since the very beginning. Oh, we'll go for a 1-year loan. There's no point loaning him for 2 years, having his valuation skyrocket and then not being able to afford him once the loan finishes. I'd rather loan him individually for you know, a year and then a year again than not be able to afford him after the end of the 2-year loan. Will they accept 40-60? They will. So it looks like Greenwood, providing he accepts the deal, will join us here on transfer deadline day. So we will just accelerate through now. Hopefully that email is him joining. He's rejected. Mason Greenwood doesn't want to join us. Okay. This is the issue we're facing at this particular moment in time. What I could do, because Suarez Garcia can play at striker or at cam, I could use him as a striker and sign another winger, potentially. So I might go for Wilkes, actually. Where are you? We've got Senior there, and then Wilkes. 20 years of age, 65 rated, valued at £850,000. I don't know if I can afford him or not. We shall find out. But that could be a good signing for us for depth. I will offer a player swap. Who have I got that I would be willing to let go? No centre-backs. Jake Carroll or Leon Davies I would be willing to let go, but it's probably not much of a... Kevin Thornton is valued at 1,750. I'll use Quinones because I can always get another goalkeeper through the youth system. And that's a big chunk of money. They want to bring in a winger, a centre-back or a midfielder. Let's have a look at other positions. Wingers. No, I'm not willing to let any of those guys go. Or could I? I could. No, to be fair, I'm backing out. I'm not going to sign another winger. I'm going to try and get a striker. Can I get Brereton on loan? No. Can I try and buy him? Not recently. Oh, Jesus Christ. Shalov. He looks decent. Can I loan him? No. Ooh. This is the frustration of being where we are. Running out of options. We might, as a last throw of the dice, no. Not going to be able to get Uche on loan. Brewster. Maybe. Poach on loan. Try and get Brewster on loan. I mean, bodies are better than no bodies at this stage, aren't they? So, We might as well. 1 year loan deal. They're happy with that. Thank you, Jurgen. I'd rather not pay 60% of his wages if I can avoid it. How about 30% of his wages? 50-50. You've negotiated quite well there. How about 35%? 40%. Done. I can't get any cheaper than that. Hopefully Brewster accepts, but he might not because of where he is as a club at this particular moment in time. In before rejects. Yeah, we're going to have to look elsewhere. We'll do that in the January window. We'll see where we are and how we're getting on with the current squad in January, because we've clearly started the season well with the squad as is. We'll see what other options we get via the youth system. Transfer offer for Greg Taylor, which I shall again reject. And crucially as well, Scout Future Star. We'll see what happens with him too, because I don't know what position our Scout Future Star is going to come back in at this stage. Hopefully we can get it before we reach the game against Preston. I'd very much like to, so we can see that in this episode. Get a bid with 1 hour remaining. It's for Vargas. It's for a lot of money, but I will be rejecting it. He's staying put for now. What I could do actually is just make sure that we have people tied down to contracts, because that's one thing that caught us last season. Scout has returned. Our Scout has returned. Scout Future Star is back. An offer for George Taft that I shall reject at present. Right. Where are you? What position do you play in? Giovanni Mancini, a left back, 5'9". Okay. Those potentials look great. At least physically. 74 to 94 potential. That's actually pretty decent, because that's a position where we don't have a lot of players right now. 56 rated, so not amazing currently, but could certainly grow well. That's quite left field, actually. I'm not used to getting wing-backs as Scout Future Stars, but that's actually pretty decent. I'm going to go and actually just completely redo all of my training presets now that we know what the squad is going to look like and what youngsters we have in. And then we shall continue on next episode. I'll quickly show you the league table, though, to see, even for me, where we are in the league right now. We are top. Unbeaten after 5 games. At the end of August last season, we were 23rd. At the end of August this season, we are first. Title contenders. I'll see you tomorrow.